iQOO 12 and the OnePlus 12 are both two flagship phones that are actually in a budget when you compare the true flagships like the S24 Ultra or the iPhones, which cost you more than 1 lakh rupees. So out of iQOO 12 and the OnePlus 12, which one is the right for you? Let's talk about that. Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video I'm going to do a quick comparison between the iQOO 12 and the OnePlus 12. If you have any more questions, comment below this video or any of our latest videos and we'll get back to you immediately. With that said, first let's talk about the pricing. iQOO 12 starts at 53,000 rupees and with the instant discount, you can get it at 50,000 rupees. OnePlus 12 starts out at 65,000 rupees with instant discount of 2,000 rupees. Its effective price is 63,000 rupees. So there's basically a 13,000 rupees difference between both phones for the base variant, and the same thing escalates even for the next variant. So what's the major difference between both phones? Now when it comes to design and build, it's about personal preference. Both are pretty good looking phones, but if you put both phones side by side, OnePlus 12 is slightly bigger, it's slightly thicker, and it's slightly heavier. Anyway, both phones have a bit of weight to them, and in hand they feel pretty lightweight after some usage. So at the end of the day, in terms of design, it's all about your personal preference. Both look pretty cool and they don't have any major disadvantages. By the way, OnePlus 12 has IP65 water resistance and iQOO 12 has IP64. Once again, there is a difference, but the difference isn't too huge. Next is the hardware department. Now in the hardware department, both phones are almost similar. Like both phones have pretty similar hardware specifications. Both phones have NFC, you can use them for payments. Both phones also come with infrared sensor, which you can use to control TV, AC or anything that has an infrared sensor. And the rest of the sensors are also pretty good. Both phones have pretty good haptic engines and there isn't a huge difference between them either. Now when it comes to display, there is a bit of difference. OnePlus 12 comes with a curved display with 2K resolution with 120Hz screen refresh rate and a peak brightness of 4500 nits. iQOO 12 comes with a slightly smaller display with 1.5K screen resolution and a peak brightness of 3000 nits. Now once again, in terms of display, it's all about your personal preference. Personally, I like the curved display. The display definitely looks much more premium. So when it comes to display, I personally like the OnePlus 12's display. But there are people who don't like curved displays, they like the flat displays, especially people who like to play games like PUBG or Genshin Impact. They want the high spec phone for gaming, and for them, they want a flat screen. For those people, iQOO 12 might be the best choice. So once again, in the display department, curved display versus flat display, they have their own pros and cons. You can pick the best one based on your preference. About the screen resolution, 2K resolution is definitely better than 1.5K resolution, but do note that iQOO 12's screen size is slightly smaller than OnePlus 12, so the pixels per inch isn't that different, and 1.5K resolution helps with better battery life and better gaming performance as well, especially when you compare it with 2K display. Do note that with more resolution, it puts a little more stress on the battery life and the GPU and CPU as well when you're gaming. So having a smaller resolution screen definitely gives you a bit more edge when it comes to gaming as well. And about the display brightness, yes, OnePlus 12 has fantastic 4500 nits of brightness, but so what? It's not like you're gonna go out every day, use your phone in a sunny day. And besides that, if your screen is always at such high brightness, it'll drain your battery faster and it'll also impact your display's life as well. So 3000 nits of peak brightness is also pretty good sweet spot. In fact, Samsung's S24 Ultra, which actually makes the displays, doesn't have 4500 nits of peak brightness. You have to understand that it's not about the numbers. Anyway, in the display department, in terms of design and looks, it's about your personal preference, but when it comes to practical use, there isn't a huge difference between both phones. Both phones offer pretty good displays and you can pick any one of them based on your preference. Now once again, when it comes to cameras, once again both phones perform pretty closely. In terms of rear camera performance, there isn't a huge difference. Like there is just a subtle difference in color reproduction and stuff, but besides that, I couldn't notice a major difference. These are some of the sample shots from B-Bomb. Like both phones perform pretty similarly with a slight difference in color reproduction. The same thing applies even for the front-facing camera, and if we have to really pick a point, then I'll say OnePlus 12 has a slightly better front-facing camera. Besides that, both phones perform pretty similarly in terms of cameras. And another major difference between both phones, with OnePlus 12 you can record 4K video using the front camera, whereas on iQOO 12 you can just record in 1080p. Personally, I don't think it's a major issue either. Now when it comes to performance, once again both phones support the same Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, and in terms of benchmark scores, iQOO 12 actually performs better than OnePlus 12. But if you just ignore the benchmark scores, both phones perform really well. Software optimization has also been done really well and all the animations feel very smooth. and both phones also offer similar features when it comes to gaming. Like you have super resolution, frame interpolation, and 4D game vibration. All these features enhance your gaming experience, and both iQOO and OnePlus have their own dedicated new chips to bring you the best gaming experience. And they obviously have better cooling systems as well. So once again, even in terms of performance, no major difference. Now when it comes to the software department, it gets really funny. Like iQOO is from Vivo, it runs FunTouch OS. OnePlus is running Oxygen OS, but that looks pretty similar to Color OS. So once again, it's more like a battle between Vivo and Oppo. Anyway, both phones are loaded with tons of software features that you'd definitely like to use. And for the differences, OnePlus 12 comes with 4 years of OS updates and 5 years of security updates. Whereas iQOO 12 comes with 3 years of OS updates and 4 years of security updates. So this is going to be a major difference. When it comes to the audio department, there's no audio jack on both phones, and both phones come with stereo speakers and they sound pretty loud enough, and they are great for media consumption. Finally, when it comes to battery life, iQOO 12 has a 5000 mAh battery and comes with a 120 watt fast charger inside the box. OnePlus 12 comes with a 5400 mAh battery with a 100 watt Superbook charger inside the box, but additionally OnePlus 12 also supports 50 watts of AirWalk wireless charging. Now this wireless charging is something that's not available on the iQOO 12. When it comes to charging speeds, once again both phones are pretty similar. iQOO 12 takes about 26 minutes to charge the phone completely from 0 to 100%. OnePlus 12 takes about 23 minutes, I guess. So once again, they are pretty similar. So guys, to conclude, iQOO 12 and OnePlus 12 are pretty similar phones, but the price difference between both of them is 13,000 rupees. Here's a quick summary of the differences. For the extra price of 13,000 rupees, with OnePlus 12 you get a better looking display, the curved display I'm talking about. Next, you get slightly better front-facing camera. Thirdly, you get a 1 year extra software updates. And finally, you have support for wireless charging. Now, when it comes to iQOO 12, it's obviously cheaper. There isn't much difference when it comes to display. Performance is almost the same. Cameras are also pretty good, and battery life is also pretty good. Like, it actually has a slightly better screen on time than OnePlus 12 because of smaller screen size and smaller resolution. So if you want my suggestion, okay, here we go. If someone else is gifting me a phone, if it's not my own money, I'll ask for OnePlus 12. But if it's something I am buying with my own money, I'll buy the iQOO 12. When I know that I can get almost the similar specs, similar performance at just 50,000 rupees, I won't spend that extra money for those slightly extra features. Personally, I think iQOO 12 is a much better choice for the price. So guys, what do you think about these two phones? Which one would you prefer and why? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you like this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and do subscribe to our channel. With that said, see you next time.